Welcome back. My name is Marco and this is Tunes I Dig, where I talk about tunes I dig. And today's tune is Favorite Food by Tokyo Police Club. The previous episode, if you watched, was a song by Future Islands called A Song for Our Grandfathers. I did that in tribute to my grandmother and really just kind of like my family tree in general. And today, for my way back playback episode here on Friday, I'm gonna do a forgotten classic. It reminds me of my grandparents. In fact, and if the lead singer of Tokyo Police Club is watching, because I follow him on TikTok and I'm always commenting on his videos. What's up, dude? I actually was listening to this when my first grandmother passed in 2010, and it got me through that. And as I was mentioning, my previous episode of Tunes I Dig was the Future Island song, and I paid tribute to my other grandmother, and unfortunately that is my last grandparent, and she passed, and I was paying tribute to her. And so this song also I listened to, and it's it's beautiful. It's very well written. I actually can't wait to get to the lyric portion after the song, because I like it. It's funny and it's clever, but it's still like very emotional. It's kind of like Juno the movie, right? You know how Juno the movie was some very serious topics, but it's still very quirky and clever. This song is kind of like that in like song form. I always think about how I got here, right? I always think about my family that I never met, like my great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents. What were they doing on a Saturday night sometime in fucking 1857 or something, what was their family dynamic like, and like, I always just try to imagine, actually imagine these people, I just make up faces, but I try to do it. And yeah, anyway, so this song really triggers that in me, and it's really awesome. So you know what? Enough of me yapping. Let's get to it. This is Favorite Food by Tokyo Police Club. Oh, I love the organ, and then left and right channel there. Sounds like walking through a hospital. Those footsteps deep in the background.
With a heart attack on your plate, you were looking back on your days, how you spent them all in a blur. When they asked if you were for sure, let the sugar melt down your throat, 'cause you know it's sweet getting old. With a lollipop and a roll, let the hospital be your home. 'Cause your knees are scratched and your eyes are black. Put a plaster there and I'll sign your cast. In the liner notes at the end, some familiar names in tiny print. On the cover page of the year, grainy photographs, greasy hair. But it's noon o'clock and you're still asleep, and your coffee's cold, your coffee's icy. 'Cause your knees are scratched and your eyes are black. Put a plaster there and I'll sign your cast. 'Cause fact are facts. Hollywood as a kid, with the volume up all the way. Now you do the same and you're right. Things are better in black and white.
Here we go!
But there's another guy,
shimmy guitar.
Food still tastes the same. Cause your knees are scratched and your eyes are black. Put a plaster there and I'll sign your cast. We're the best and the brightest till the television's on. Have your seatbelts strapped and your helmets on.
Oh, I love that. Woo! Let's do the guitar. Oh, I actually... Hey everybody, welcome back. Oh God, I love that song. I love it so much. That beginning. So I actually never fully, and I've listened to this song, Jesus Christ, probably over 100 times. And it's only now, this time that I've listened to it, that I realized there's two parts. Like I knew it got faster, but I thought it got slow again, but it doesn't. I was getting, I think, out of all the times that I've been doing Tunes I Dig, I did not see the goosebumps on my arms that big. Like it was absolutely crazy. It's just nuts. Like I really am just so moved by this song to a such huge magnitude. Davey boy, if you're watching this, thank you so much. And the rest of the band, thank you so much for this song. It's a very beautiful song. For those of you who haven't heard it and you're just hearing it for the first time, I'm intrigued to know what you think of the song. Does it make you think of the same things and that sort? But I do want to get to the lyrics right now because I love these lyrics so much. My grandmother that passed in 2010, I went to go visit her a lot in a home. And for one reason or another, the home wasn't the greatest. And I would sit with her and eat in the lunchroom. And, you know, if you ever, you know what? If you've been in that situation before, you know what it's like. And if you haven't, I'm not going to tell you because that's just something that you'll have to go through at some point in your life. And you don't really need to know that right now. So anyway, moving on. And earlier I said about like Juno, you know, it's kind of like this is like the indie song version of Juno. So with a heart attack on your plate, you were looking back on your days. So heart attack on your plate. Eggs, sausage links, whatever. That's the common food that they serve in the retirement homes. What, like, that's so clever. It's just so clever. Honest to God. It really is. And then you were looking back on your days. You know, I wonder, is that what they do? Is that what they do when they're sitting there? Because I imagine I will. Again, very clever. Very clever. How you spent them all in a blur. And again, I can relate to that so very much. There's actually a picture of me that's blurry at my first Osheaga. And I was feeling very good here at the moment. I was hanging out with my friend Super Mario Brother, or I was enjoying a Super Mario Brother growth hormone in this picture here. You'll figure it out. Yeah. And I recall this picture right here. That was almost 10 years ago. That was 9 years ago. That was before I saw Block Party, the rainy set. On the green stage at Osheaga. Like, that line triggers that. You know, how you spent them all in a blur. And I just picture me like that, you know, between the Osh and Aga characters there. That's what that made me think of. Next stanza, let the sugar melt down your throat, 'cause you know it's sweet getting old. Very nice. Very, like, you know, sugar melt down your throat because it's nice. I love it. I really do. With a lollipop and a rose. Now that is imagery to the max. With a lollipop and a rose. Going to visit your grandparents and bringing them a lollipop and a rose. Because your knees are scratched and your eyes are black. Put a plaster there and I'll sign your cast. Stunning. Stunning. In the liner notes at the end, this kind of hit me. I remember when I was doing the reaction. In the liner notes at the end, when it all comes to the end, because we all will come to that end point. The funeral notebook, right? Some familiar names in tiny print. Like you show up and you look at the thing and you're, oh, he's here, or he or she was here. On the cover page of the year, grainy photographs, greasy hair. Like I said in the previous video, it just makes me think of my family tree. And now, unfortunately, that, you know, it's hard to say. I no longer have any grandparents. The longest link to my past is my parents. And I mean, what can my parents tell me? They can only tell me what they know of my grandparents. It sucks. You know, I wish I just had, like, my grandmother, by the way, I won't tell you what she passed from, but it was not COVID. Not COVID related at all. So honestly, I wish I just had like another year to get to know her and just ask her a whole bunch of questions. And I think if there's anything that I can leave you with, and you know, I'm not some philosopher. You don't have to take, I don't have to tell you what time it is, but you know, man, get to know whoever is still around. Ask them, spend time with them, ask them questions, because you're gonna want to know. And I'm just so grateful, as I said in the previous, I'm so grateful that, you know, my grandparents came. You know, they left Italy and they came here. And like, again, you know, I said I did this in my previous video, but this life that I've lived, you know, this is just one portion of my life here. Let me just fix that while I'm here. This is just one portion. This is the music. You know, I've done a whole bunch of traveling. I mean, I'm doing this, right? Like, I'm getting to talk about music and how it means to me and how it relates to my life and how I grew up, right? Like, just the fact that I had that upbringing, like just the fact that I was able to grow up, you know, in the 90s with much music, you know, watching much music. Like, you know, if I was in Italy, you know, I'm sure they had MTV, but it wasn't the same, right? Like, especially, you know what? Like, not even American MTV. Like, much music was actually, like, just objectively, I think it was actually better than MTV. Like 100%. It was way more, it just felt like it got more into the culture. Like, they went out into the street more. They connected to the audience. Like, not a little more, like to a mountainous degree. Like, much music was this phenomenon. And just, you know, to be able to grow up through that and you know, all that music in the 90s and everything, and just have this life that I have. And, you know, I wouldn't have had it if my grandparents never came to this country. And I'm so grateful for them. And I'm forever indebted to the life that I have and the person that I am and have become. And so I did the two songs. I did Future Islands, a song for our grandfathers, and Tokyo Police Club, Favorite Food. Two very, very moving songs that I listen to very often. They're in my pocket, and they're not songs that I listen to once in a while. I do come back to them very often, and I will now come back to them, given the circumstance. I will now come back to them a lot more for the remainder of my tenure here on Earth. And that's it. Thank you to everyone who stuck along and is still watching me babble on about this. I hope that you found it intriguing and interesting in some sort of way. And thank you to Tokyo Police Club. And Dave, I'll see you on TikTok. Don't worry about overthinking and overwriting. Rewriting is the art of writing. You know when it's all done. And thanks again so much. Comment below. Comment anything. Whatever you feel about this video, about this song. about your grandparents. Share a story, comment anything, and if you like the video, like, and if you want to subscribe and see more of this, then you can subscribe. And if not, that's all good. I have fun making these. I really just love setting up these lights and just dancing to this music that I love. And just even the couple comments that I get a couple comments, and it's so much fun. So whatever, man. Let's have a fun life, and let's love each other. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming out.